woke up already before us. Oh boy, I'll take Bambi out too. Hey, man. Can we take Bambi to go to the bathroom? Okay. Come on, Bams. Take her across the street to go to the bathroom. Come on, Bam.
It's down here that I ran into some people 9 months ago that prayed for me, and they asked me what did I want, and I said I just want to have some meaning in my life and some guidance, some direction. What can I do? And the next day I ran into Dennis, and he asked me, do I want to get involved in this documentary to help people understand homelessness, and that's what we did.
2007 to 2016, San Diego's population of people that are living outdoors has gone up 58%, up to around 4,700 people almost. And this is alarming growth.
Use this lid instead. It's not bad. Uh-oh, trouble. Oh. Good morning, sir. Pretty good. Just trying to clean up this mess.
Yeah, you've been camped out here for a while. For how long?
No.
I remember seeing you here last week.
Yeah.
How long have you been camped out here?
I don't know, a little bit.
We've talked to you down over on
Yes, sir.
16th on by Market, right?
Yes.
Now, do you remember what happened that day? Yeah.
Yeah, we lost all our stuff.
Because we've issued you multiple sites and we've...
Well, we got a storage room today. That's what we're doing. We're
Packing everything up.
storage.
So
So it's going to be gone.
I remember that was your story last time.
We did get the storage today.
Last time.
We're probably going to jail today.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Need a signature from you here.
Okay.
Make sure you get going with all your property.
Yes, sir.
Continue camping out here, we'll
Okay.
be arrested just like last time.
I understand.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
We're on probation, so really, he said the next time he sees us, we're going to do a month in jail. There's a big confusion about what you can do and can't do, and you can stay in your tents on Saturday and Sunday, but not Monday through Friday. I don't know if that's true. It's just a cat and mouse game, but we don't make the rules, they do, so just, you know, I don't know. We're just trying to survive. It really comes down to this. We need to get rid of this stuff.
And it's illegal to be homeless, you can see. But it's going to be an all-day affair.
I guess this is it. All right. My kickstand is totally broken.
That's my bike. I called the police.
That's not your bike. That's not your bike. That ain't your bike. How many times does that happen? A lot. You gotta laugh because it's ridiculous. You get this every day. We don't even know what size storage we want. I'm kind of apprehensive. We have about 2 pallets this high about.
Yeah, we got everything there.
This is a big one?
Yeah, and this one has 2 doors.
You think it's gonna work that size?
Mm-hmm.
For all your stuff? That's kind of what I like to do, is get things that are broken, fix them, and sell them. We'll find some cool stuff probably. Anyways, that's what holds my cart on that. It's like a little kid's bike. It's kind of short. Hi guys. There's not many dumpsters, but the ones that are there usually have good things. A lot of recyclables or other things. Oh, and I see our first costly mistake. My wheel fell off. Always something. But loot, they call it loot. Stuff that you can trade or sell. And there's always a lot of that. But look at this stuff. Now this is what I call loot. Look at this thing that people are throwing away. All these knives. It's amazing. Why would they throw away such a grinder for coffee? Amazing. Look at this waffle maker. I would love to start a thrift shop. I'm digging more than I'm finding now, so it's time management. I'm wasting time. Oh yeah, during the summer it's a horrible job to have because The flies, there's a ton of flies, and then the flies bring the maggots. This is where we've been staying, outside this auto body shop. The guy's incredible, he loves us. This was overgrown, like this high. I did all his yard work for him. It was a pleasure, I like doing yard work. And he appreciates that. Keep our area clean here, but then we come to that. Just leaves his stuff just like this. And here's our stuff. Normally we keep it over there where we stay, but they're having cleanup today. Yeah, we put the tan sheet so it doesn't stick out. It's about being invisible. The more invisible, the better. You can get 10 chicken tenders for $1.50, and that's a good price, and 2 tacos for $1.50. Other options, we can go to San Vicente de Paul for lunch every day. You have to wait a long time to, like hours, or an hour. You probably take you an hour and a half to 2 hours to have lunch there. The money I get off my food stamp doesn't last all month, so I go to food pantries at Catholic Charities. There it is, good as new. Hopefully here it lasts, I don't know. I was thinking about this transitional housing program. We're at the Salvation Army STEPS program, and this is one of the solutions that people have been using to end homelessness, transitional housing. That it's really very specific. It's not really a housing program. I mean, they do give you a place to stay while you're looking for a job, but their main focus is finding a job. That's what they're about, and they're not really, they help only a very small percentage of homeless people. Wouldn't work for people who are drinking, it wouldn't work for people on drugs, it wouldn't work for this gentleman we talked to who has an injury. It doesn't work for him. I mean, you have to be motivated to have this place work for you, and you have to be healthy, and a lot of homeless people are beat down, they're not really motivated, you know. We're standing at St. Vincent de Paul, Father Joe's village, and it consists of a few different buildings. It's a shelter. It's a massive floor of bunk beds, 2 high, and it's I'd rather be on the street, really. I mean, it's a snoring, talking, loud voices, a lot of noise. Thieves, stealing is rampant up there. I've lost all my things twice here. They offer showers. The showers are pretty good, so the food is a good thing. They got it right on the food. They have a curfew at 10 o'clock. Anything later than that's a point. If you get 3 points, you're out. You can get a point for not folding your bed, not making your bed right. You can get a point for a sock on the floor. 3 of those and you're gone. They're on you here. They're on you. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. You got to do this, you got to do that, or else. You know, it's always that pressure on you, and you just feel like, geez, you mess up on purpose because you're nervous. You know. We're at Time Recycling. And thank you. Thanks. All right.
How much you get?
Oh, we got the big $4. But yeah, this is about a normal day. I come in here about 5:30. Oh yeah, I got a friend, he's looking for a tent. He's got poles, but he doesn't have a tent. Oh, okay, well we got the poles. Yeah, and then we'll go trade him for something that we want, you know, maybe a canister of butane for our stove, or maybe some coffee, or you know, whatever it might be. It's a functioning society. That's the money of homeless people, is things. That's why you see people with so many things, because the more things, the richer you are, you know, because you have things to work with, you know, things to sell, things to liquidate, you know, otherwise you have, because money, none of us have money, really. We're here at the library, San Diego Library, where I hang out and a lot of other homeless people hang out, because you can hang out here. You can't hang out in most places around the city. Here you can hang out, you can charge your phones and your radios, whatever you have to charge. We're here to talk about the methods used to address homelessness. There are 2 ways we've been addressing homelessness, through shelters and through transitional housing. It hasn't been working. So we took a look at it again, and we have a new way of looking at it. It's called Housing First. So as a part of Housing First, rapid rehousing is a way to get somebody back into their own house by paying their rent for a certain period of time. They also have supportive counseling with that. Permanent supportive housing is for people with higher needs, maybe physical, mental disabilities. The supportive services are located in the building. There can also be permanent supportive housing where the support services aren't actually part of the building. They come to you. Okay. So here we are at the Jacob Center, and a few months ago we were at the library researching the history of homelessness, and we learned about the Interagency Council on Homelessness. And curious enough, the main guy that does that runs this organization is here, and we're going to get a chance to talk to him.
If we just get people as far as shelter, we're not actually ending the problem. We're not creating solutions for them. We're just giving them a place to be each night. But we need shelter to be playing the role of focusing on moving people as quickly from that experience into housing and have services that follow them.
What's interesting about everything that he was saying is that they know what works. It's housing first. Before they weren't sure like how to approach it, which way to go. They know now. And we're in America's finest city, so we have to lead. We should be leading, actually.
What's the highest grade you finished in school?
Associate degree.
Okay, so
Art.
college graduate. In the past 6 months, stayed one or more nights in a holding cell in jail or prison, whether
Yes.
it's yes. Have you been attacked or beaten up since you become homeless?
Yes, many times.
And did you serve in the military?
Just the Salvation Army.
When you're sick or not feeling well, do you avoid getting help?
Yeah.
Do you have planned activities other than just surviving that make you feel happy and fulfilled?
No.
So we're done with the SPDAT.
Wow, that's it?
That's it. This particular survey, it's broken into 3 levels. So the lowest level is maybe you just need some resources and for someone like myself to guide you to places where you can get a little help. In the middle, it's for rapid rehousing. That's for people that need a little more help, but just like training wheels, like maybe a few months of help. And then on the higher end, where you scored, is permanent supportive housing. That's for someone that's going to need a little more help and ongoing help, most likely, to be successfully housed. So we'll talk about all that stuff too, and how we can start working on ways to find a housing solution for you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Great. Very informative.
It was great
Thank you for
to meet
taking the
you.
time. You're going right now. There's your buddies. Oh, because of that. Okay. Bambi, are you? Bambi's a little afraid today, I think. Hey, baby. I was born in San Diego. I was born in Ocean Beach. My dad was real abusive. Well, I hadn't seen my dad, in like, say, 6 years. Then my sister killed herself, so I had to see him. So, I don't think I'm going to talk about my grandmother right now a little bit. I mean, I really need to, because she's really the only person that showed me love in this world.
Well, I'd go visit her in the hospital, and she was, every time I see her, she couldn't talk. She would just have a tear come down her cheek. And I would throw my body on her and say, don't leave, don't leave. You know? I told her I would be all right, but I lied. Started slamming coke and heroin. You know, I wanted to die. You know. The cocaine, heroin thing lasted about 3 years, and I lost everything I ever had. I got a rehab, I went to NA meetings, I got a job as a waiter and I learned how to do that. And I kind of got my life back again, got a house, got a car. One boss liked me, one didn't. And the one that liked me, when he went on vacation, the one that didn't fired me because I didn't show up for work for 6 days. But the reason I didn't show up for work for 6 days was I was sick. I don't know, it was like a flu or something. I mean, I was in bed for 6 days. I called them and told them I was sick. So I applied for unemployment and I never went back. And that's how I became homeless this time. I lost everything I had again, you know, all my possessions, my apartment, my cat. Yeah. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Oh, pretty good, except for the police. They were busting people just next door to us, and so we had to leave our tent and walk away. Ginger had to leave the tent naked and with running and wrapping the blanket around her. So we made it out, but it's always on. You have to be always on guard, you know. Otherwise, you go to jail, and we're facing 30 days if they catch us. So we have to be on guard for them. And we woke up about 5 minutes late. They were there right at the time that they could have got us. But anyways, we're here now at Alpha Square, and I'm really looking forward to talking to Kelly, is who I took the SPDAT test with, and now she's going to be my navigator, I guess, and I'm going to find out what that means and what she can do to help us get off the street.
Do either one of you have income?
No.
Zero income for both. Do you have any evictions?
No.
Do you have any criminal record?
You mean felonies?
Yes.
No.
No felonies? Do you have any misdemeanors in the last 5 years?
Encroachment, trespassing.
How many encroachment tickets do you think you've had?
God.
Is it a lot?
Maybe 10.
Okay, that's high. Okay. Are you guys getting food stamps?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so you do have a way to eat. Animals. How many animals do you guys have? One dog?
Yeah, it's her service animal.
And is it actually a licensed service animal?
No.
And how important to you is it that public transportation be easily accessible?
It's important. We don't have a car.
The good thing is the big barriers, evictions and criminal record, is not a problem.
Yeah, I know.
So that's helpful. Now what we have to look at is finding a place that's realistic for you guys to maintain on your own after you get some kind of help.
Yeah.
Or the possibility of a permanent supportive housing voucher. But the problem with that is I always do this, we have this many people that need help, and we have this many people that are connected with people that might be able to help them, and we have this many resources. Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
No, thank you. No, a lot of things to think about. I kind of feel like it's probably not going to work out, you know, because of the dog and I'm going to have to apply myself to work again, and I haven't worked in 4 years, you know.
Okay.
So that rapid rehousing sounds like probably the way I would initially want to go, but I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time if I can't do that. I have to decide now, am I going to be able to do this? You know, I don't know.
One time I got money from something, and she says, go pay a month's rent at this place and move in. I can't do that because what about the month after that? I don't have a job. Well, you'll find a job. No. I don't want to have to be responsible to pay a rent for a place when I don't feel like I have the ability to be responsible. I don't know if I can be punctual anymore. I used to be. Memory-wise, I'm shot. My mind is shot. I mean, you'll ask me to repeat a phrase, and I don't get it right 6 times in a row. And why? I don't know. It's amazing. I was a really good worker. I was punctual. But you know, that's changed. Not because of desire. I want to be functional. I want to be, you know. But the truth is, I'm almost 60 years old, and it's not getting better.
So, what's been going on with you?
I got a call back from somebody from the regional task force and homeless or something, but she hasn't called back. Is that my cat? No way. No, that's not her. I don't think that's my cat, but I don't know. Yeah, right here. I painted that to look like adobe bricks, but he took it all off. It's a cool apartment. I miss it so much. After this, I went to my friend's house to stay with them for a little while. which was a month or so, but that didn't work out. After that we're pretty much homeless.
Where'd you sleep the first nights?
The first night's downtown by the Goodwill, pretty much where I'm at now, a block away from that.
He said he kicked you out?
Yeah, he did. It was over, it was my mom's fault because she moved in with me there and she came to visit and said she decided she was gonna stay. So I had my girlfriend and my mom in a little studio apartment. They fought all the time. And my girlfriend was using a lighter at night to find something, and my mom thought she was trying to start the place on fire. She told the manager. He kicked me out the next day.
Yeah.
But a lot of things happened to make me homeless. That was one of the issues, was I got kicked out, had no place to go. I lost my job for health reasons, and I couldn't pay the rent anyway, so it's just everything culminated. Being sick, losing the job, the cops coming, legal problems, it's just so that was the last time I had a house, was right here.
Yeah, when I became homeless, there was no one really. The friends that I did have died. I went away. My girlfriend died. The one that I did the art with, she's not even around anymore. My mom lives near me downtown, but she's embarrassed by me, so I can't really go there. I have been there since. She told me that, but one day she told me, I don't want you coming anymore. I'm embarrassed by you.
Now we're on our way to the Regional Continuum of Care meeting in Kearney Mesa, and we're going to see what this is all about. And what is it? What is it about? What do they do exactly?
The council that's supposed to solve homelessness. This is the council.
Oh, really?
I know.
For the county?
Right, so basically the county has like a representative on the council. Father Joe's does, the city does, the police do. All these different groups have a representative.
Wow, that's a good thing to do. Well, why aren't they doing anything?
They're doing a lot. They're just not.
Okay, here we are. This is where the meeting is taking place, the United Way office. Let's see what this is all about. The agenda. I ran into you a lot, huh, Michael?
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Dolores Diaz, and I'm the Executive Director of the Regional Task Force on the Homeless. And then the goal is to bring it to April for approval at the Governance Board meeting.
What kind of work? Waiter. I was a waiter, tuna fisherman. My earlier years. I'm 58, so when I was 26, I guess I tuna fish. Seems like a lot of good, well-intentioned, and a lot of planning. And like they said, it's a developing of the infrastructure of this problem, and so it's going to take time. But a lot of good ideas, a lot of things actually starting to happen, but it's like my do list, they haven't actually happened. They haven't, tonight I go back and I'm on the sidewalk, and I've been there for 4 years. Yeah,
Morning.
Hi, Dennis. I'm late.
Wow, Tony and Ginger, who's doing the documentary with Dennis Stein. I think this is their stuff that's stored on E Street. Yeah,
Is this your stuff?
Yes. Yeah, that's our stuff. Straight to the garbage truck. Look at that.
Pretty much everything
Oh
that the
my
people left on the
God.
side.
Normally on Fridays they post their postings of when they're going to clean up. For some reason they changed it during the rain to Tuesday, but they posted that it was changed till Tuesday. But we forgot because all the postings washed away, and we were thinking Monday, and so Monday went by, so we thought, okay, now we're good till next Monday. No, it was Tuesday. And the thing about this, America put a stop to this right now. All he has to do is tell the chief, stop taking people's personal belongings. Stop arresting them and criminalizing them. People are gathering. Looks like a news. Oh, sorry about that. It's like a news conference.
Straight up to the mayor's office.
The road hands to the right of me will soon have lost sight of me. I said, love, rescue me.
To ticket people who don't have a home is not the job of a policeman. It is, or a policewoman. It isn't. One thing that they will say is that before they give a ticket that's a $130 ticket, is that they offer a bed in a shelter. But these are temporary solutions. They're not safe. and people can't bring in their children, their pets, or their things. Why would you leave that tent? Why would you leave the community the only community you have, and go into a shelter if it's not permanent and it's not a door you can close? It makes no sense, right?
We need to grow, and the only way we grow is by really being America's finest city and not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. Stand up and do something about the homeless issue in our city, and stop snatching tents from those in our streets. We have got to serve them, not push them aside. Stand up and use your leadership. Stand up and use your leadership. Stand up and use your leadership. Thank you.
Ignore me.
We're here to deliver a petition to Mayor Faulkner with over 1,100 signatures currently and counting. Thank you. Unfortunately, no one's available at the moment, but we have your contact information, and someone will follow up with you guys.
Will be no love dying here.
All good. Sorry. Oh boy. I don't know what I think about it. It's just kind of emotional, you know, for me, for most people, but because I'm in the mix of it, you know, happening right at the moment. I mean, just lost my things last week. I don't know. Just, it's nice to be a part of it, but I'm kind of shy naturally. So I guess like 4 years I've been out here, and I haven't really seen myself change. I don't think I've changed at all. I think I'm still the same person. Just things that have happened to me have changed, but it's not true. I've changed. Weaker, less inclined to. I want to get help. Beaten down. I didn't think I was beaten down, but I am. Well, when I think about going back into society, going into a house and having a job, at my age, you don't have a car, you don't have kids, they start to say, what's wrong with you? Even if I took the great courage it would take to get off the streets and get a job and I'm starting at the lowest rung of society. There's some kind of what's wrong with him going on in people's minds. You can see it on their faces. They don't even have to say it. And in this society, in the homeless society, we're all damaged people, emotionally damaged, physically damaged, mentally damaged. We're all damaged people. We all have a kind of a camaraderie. It's hard to work hard to get into a society that you're not going to be accepted in. Do I want to live on the street? No, I don't. I want to be in a house, but I don't know if I want to be in society. And that would mean work, the work thing. You know, do I like to work? Yes, I love to work. I'm a great worker. I get enjoyment of life through my work. I love gardening. I love being on my bike. My life is not over. I'm alive. So there's hope, but it's going to be a different kind of a life. It's going to be one I'm going to have to create because it's not. I don't see it out there. I don't know where I would fit in.
So they love it.
I, Kristen Gaspar.
I, Kristen Gaspar.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear. Now you may be wondering what my number one goal is over my first term in office, and I can share with you that my top priority is to create accountable plans, to clearly define a goal, and to produce results in the challenging area of homelessness and regional public safety.
There we go.
We're doing a video on homelessness and a little bit about what it's like to be homeless, and then some of the pitfalls the services offered. And I shook her hand and she turned her body toward me and looked right in my eyes, and she was so beautiful. And that stare was just memorized me. I couldn't talk.
I'm really going to be working hard on this issue, and I can use people like you to partner with and to better understand where we have gaps in the system and can make a difference. So I look forward to it.
Say hello to you, my friend.
Yes,
and God bless you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
God bless you. I got it.
We got a 10-15 back.
Okay. But I look forward to you being able to come to the address next week.
Yes, me too. Thank you, Mayor. But it was like a David meeting Goliath. He's a gigantic man. My mouth is so dry from being nervous. While having coffee, we met this woman who is a lobbyist, and she explained to us the best ways to get the attention of people who make the decisions, councilmen and representatives, supervisors. And she says, get a couple people who are well-spoken to present those ideas, send an email to the office, and of the person you want to talk to, and a few people to back them up, and that's the way to do it. And then as she was speaking, I was thinking about people I know who are well-spoken, and I know a few, but as I explained to them what I'm doing and what I'm learning, more than that, what I'm doing, what I'm learning, their attention wanes, and then I realized, oh yeah, that's the thought of homeless people. It's a daily struggle. It's not about tomorrow, it's about right now. It's raining today. They're not going to think about how to solve homelessness and all the things that we're learning. They want to know, where can I get a tent today? Where am I going to get food today? Where's my stuff right now? It's a more immediate.
Tony! How's it going? We're going to go to the Union Tribune right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
How was the rain?
Bad. It was bad. Just kind of trying to dry things out with a stove we have. And then later we'll maybe go to the laundromat, get it all drenched another night, and then do it again tomorrow. Hi, I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony. Dan McSwain. Over the last 6 years, we have had 10,000 units of low-cost housing disappear from the landscape here. The city's housing commission has built well over 8,000 units in the last 11, 12 years. Yeah. But only 615 of those have been dedicated to homeless people.
So far, experts have talked about getting people into permanent housing. So we wondered why creating more housing wasn't happening more quickly.
Hi there.
Hi, Steve. Tony.
Tony, nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
Come on in.
Okay.
People believe that that affordable housing brings crime, and we have statistics that show the reverse. They believe it brings down property values, and I can show you studies that show that either has net zero impact or some improvement if it's especially in a poorer community. Affordable housing doesn't create crime and bad social conditions. The concentration of poverty does that. We in the region apparently were prepared to spend 2 pennies of a TOT, the hotel tax, just to build a single stadium for a billionaire. Why we can't take that same $1 billion and apply it to solving a piece of the housing crisis, I don't know. I think we should be looking at that. We should be looking at maybe a local sales tax or a local property tax. Up and down the state, there have been 4 very successful measures just in the last election. We need to look locally at what we can do to raise more money through one of those sources and put it toward homelessness and low-income housing.
Well, I went to the wrong place. I went to the Living Water Church to meet you, and you weren't there, so I waited a little bit. Then I thought I saw you. So we're going to East Village Church, but I don't know where that is.
And what are we going for?
It's a meeting of the neighborhood groups downtown, and I don't really know what they're going to talk about, but...
Would you sign your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Each time here?
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
We are looking at 1,000 plus people that my grandkids and I step over on the sidewalk. And frankly, it's not right, and it's very unfair to our police officers.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do about the increasing aggressive and inappropriate behavior on the streets?
Understand that it takes a lot of time for an officer to make one encroachment arrest, and under some of these settlements that the city's engaged in, Spencer and Isaiah, we take a progressive enforcement approach.
Okay.
Tony,
Yes.
what do you think of the meeting?
Very interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that meetings like this go on, and the information It's nice to interface with the police, with people in the regional task force head, and also with angry residents. The police, you know, they basically are the way they are with us. You know, they don't really want to have to make us move. They don't, but they do, because that's their job, and you know, they have to do it. Most of them are very professional. There's only a few, actually only two, that aren't. But I don't feel good about being on the street. I don't feel good about it at all. I try to clean up, you know, where we live, and I try to make the neighbors, you know, I try to talk with them and be cordial, and try to do, you know, try to stay out of their sight, and try to go to businesses that are not open where I stay. And I really hate it when the homeless are so messy, but we have no other place to go, really. I mean, and right now we're outside City Hall. I'm looking forward to talking to Chris Ward, our newly elected representative. His office is right up here.
Hey, Tony. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have you ever felt opposition to developing these homeless developments?
There is fear out in the community, fear of the unknown. There is ignorance that is based on prejudices and maybe one-time occurrences. I think it's my responsibility as an office holder to try and hold both hands, reaching out to the community, informing them of the facts.
Yeah. Chris, how do we get funding for development?
Many other communities and counties across California looked at opportunities for bonds, for sales tax, quarter-cent measures, other kinds of revenue sources for dedicated funding streams for affordable housing or other homeless-related services, and San Diego did not. But that doesn't mean I think we wasted any time. There was a lot of governance questions and a lot of other organizational efforts that we made last year that have set us up right now, I think, to be effective. I think this is important groundwork to lay, because you have to make sure that we are all on the same page, and until we're all talking off of the same action plan, it's a little difficult for me to get out there and sell to the voters, here's what I need in additional resources to be able to get the job done.
Man, gosh, I'm not going to be able to take a lot of stuff, really. Is it going to be cold there? I don't know. I guess I should leave from here. Hello, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
All right.
So where are we going now?
Disneyland. No, we're going to Houston. Wow, this has all changed since I've been here. 44. Thank you. So Ginger always says that whenever I sit down, I fall asleep, so I try not to sit down too much during the day. It's true, though. It's humid here. We're going to see how they have got their homeless population down to 3,000 from 8,000 around about. Good morning. Yes. You up early today, huh?
Ready to shoot?
Yeah. Oh. This bed isn't that comfortable, you know. On concrete it's much better, because it's like, you're straight or you're like this. And this way I'm like this. Ginger didn't answer. I've been texting her. She only answered me once. That's typical of her, though. She likes to make me worry. Hi, I'm Tony. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Houston.
Hi, Tony. I'm Ann Stern.
Hi, I'm Bob Urey.
Hi, Tony. I'm Tao.
Joy. Very good.
Hi, I'm Julie. Nice to meet you.
Mark, it's nice to meet you.
Tony.
Yes.
Welcome to Houston.
I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony.
San Diego.
A lot of people come to Houston and say, how in the world did you do this? What was your special sauce?
It's not always a sexy story of we're going to do the hard work to create enough housing and build this crazy collaborative collective system. While that's not sexy, the results are.
Then Mayor Parker announced that she wanted to take a different approach, and she wanted to see what we could do if we collectively came together and tried to align all the systems and all the providers of services for the homeless.
With everybody coming together on a new mission instead of the separate missions that they've had.
Kind of redirect, refocus everybody.
Exactly.
Focus more on the long-term
Yeah.
impact and not just keep people just surviving.
It's amazing. You're all on the same page, from the mayor on down. You guys are all right there on the same page. It's nice to see that, and you're excited. Excited about it. You know.
It is. We've got to help those people out there that are stuck.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
And we've got to get them into housing without judgment.
Yeah.
You know, we can't expect that they're going to be able to be clean and sober before we move in.
Yeah, that takes a lot longer.
Right, or that they're going to be able to pay the rent right away, because how can you get a job when you're on the street? No judgment, get them into housing, don't say no, say yes. And that's how we were able to get traction.
You can try to legislate yourself out of homelessness, but you can't. You really have to solve the problem, and there's only one way to really solve it, and that is to have appropriate housing for those that have been homeless.
The idea was that let's get people into housing first, and let's bring the services to them. You know, that sounds so logical, but it was different than we had approached things here before. We're tired of pouring money into a problem and not really helping people in the way that they need to be served, and not really solving the problem. And we believe that if we try this new model, that we can actually end homelessness, effectively end homelessness in Houston.
We believe that given free choice, no one will choose to be on the street. But sometimes we weren't giving people free choice. We were saying the housing unit comes with a condition. You got to be sober. You got to be something else. You got to have a job. You got to go to these classes. Housing first means you come in, you have safe, stable housing, and then you choose which of those support services you want to take advantage of. There is no requirement.
True believers on housing first, right? I mean, we really are trying to move folks straight into permanent supportive housing and make sure we make a difference.
Instead of saying, what programs do I have that help, that I can put Tony in, we flipped the question and said, what does Tony need? And so by asking the question in that way, we were able to identify the needs and how quickly we can move Tony into housing, and what would it take in order to support his ability to be in that housing long term. We pulled together all of the agencies. We talked about who did what best. The people who build and run housing aren't very good at case management. And the people that are really good at case management don't really know a whole lot about construction and property management.
We didn't make any immediate decisions to cut funding off from people. What we said is that our city, our community is going to work together. And we would really like for everyone who's serving the homeless to be part of this overall initiative. And we had a light touch at first, I would say. We had a few grantees that we fund who said, well, we're not sure that we really fit into that system, and we're different, we serve a special need, and we're going to continue to serve that need, and you should continue to fund us. We gave them time to acclimate. We gave them time to understand what it meant for them. We gave them time to think about how they could do their work differently. What was really exciting was over time, yes, there were a couple of people that we said, you can continue to do the work the way you want to do it, but we're not going to fund you anymore because we are 100% behind this collective initiative. Today, everyone that we're funding within the space of homelessness is completely aligned and adding value to this system. That's pretty exciting.
No longer does a homeless individual have to go to the right service provider on the right day, at the right time, talk to the right person with the right knowledge to get help. Now, no matter where they're at, everybody gets assessed through the same portal, they get the same information, they get the same opportunity to be placed on the path of housing.
We knew who had beds, who had open units, who had services, and so we built a program that kind of like hotels.com. You'd tell us what your needs are, or what you'd answer these assessment questions. We'd be able to match you in the system with available units if there were.
We're focused on housing our most vulnerable homeless first. Okay? And you cannot decline to take individuals. And if you do decline, that's fine. You just have to provide a reasonable explanation. But no more just picking and choosing the people that you think are going to succeed in your program. Because what happens is is the most vulnerable continue to stay on the streets. Because you take those that are less vulnerable because you feel they have a higher chance of succeeding in your program.
This is going to be one of your housing assessments. I'm just going to go over some past medical history, any criminal background, and just places of where you've been staying over the last few years, okay? Past substance abuse, alcohol or drugs ever in the past?
Yes.
Are you no longer using?
Yes.
From time to time? Would you say monthly or weekly?
How about daily?
Daily? Okay. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not.
Yeah, I really appreciate your honesty. I got you on the wait list. It did qualify you for permanent housing, which is long term. You can stay there as long as you want. Can you check with me like every other week? Okay. And if not, I can probably find you at Herman or
Willer Station.
Willer Station. Okay.
And you don't even know me, sir,
No, I don't.
but you care about me. And I got people in Houston right here that know me and don't care about me. Yeah. That's the ones that can't help themselves.
One thing I think we have learned here is we've been able to show that we can make a difference if we all work together. And we all have a very strong vision of where a common goal, where we're trying to take this, and we have some deadlines.
Proof is in the pudding. 5 years later, we have housed over 3,500 formerly chronically homeless individuals, and they're in permanent supportive housing.
What I'm finding nowadays is when I travel to another city, I'm really surprised by the number of homeless that I see compared to what we have here. When we started the way home, we were at about 8,500. For last year's count, we were at 3,600. It's funny because there's a lot of sensitivity by people to the number that are there, right? And I keep thinking, you just don't remember what it used to be like.
I have only 13% charge, but I need to find a place to go. I have no idea where. I wish you were here. I miss you. Poor thing. Yeah, those are the worries that you have when you're homeless. I know. I've been away from it. I've been kind of on a reprieve for 3 days from all that kind of stuff, but it's all coming back. Where are you going to camp? Where are you going to charge your phone? Where are you going to put your things while you go make your appointments? You know, it's really a hassle. I'm starting to think about, oh yeah, when I get back, what am I going to do? And I'm starting to get back into that mode again, and it's very depressing. It feels like a big weight on my shoulder. This feels like vacation. Oh, it feels good to be back. It's definitely San Diego. You can just feel it in the air and the smell. We really have a nice city here. See? If I don't find it, I'll have to resort to my instincts, which is finding some cardboard and building a box and get inside of it for the night, and then worrying about the rest tomorrow. But thank you. It's been a wonderful adventure, and we have more to go tomorrow. I'm gonna have to get my rest, that's for sure.
All right, you got my phone number?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'll see you.
All right, okay.
So one thing that you probably learned, and certainly struck me when I was watching the videos about Houston, is everybody that you interviewed seemed to be kind of telling the same story. A lot of times were even using the same talking points.
It's true.
And they also were very focused on immediately getting somebody into housing as quickly as possible.
That's true.
They were all singing from that same song sheet. And so this is now what San Diego leaders are hoping to accomplish with the regional plan.
I don't know what she looks like. Hi, nice to meet you.
I am the CEO and principal of Focus Strategies, which is a consulting firm based in Sacramento, and this is all that we do. So I've spent my whole career working on homelessness. We put a bid in to do this community plan, and we were awarded the contract. Which hopefully means that they believe we have the skills and the expertise to really help San Diego turn the curve.
So we hired Focus Strategies. Focus Strategies
worked with us for about a year, actually. We released that report in last fall in 2016.
I see. Did it change any of your perception of the original plan when you got information from them?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I think what it changed was that they gave us a lot of hope that with the resources that we have, existing resources that we have, that we can house a lot more people. Basically, the performance of a lot of our programs in our community were not at sort of national standards as far as, you know, moving to permanent housing out of shelter or those kinds of things. They also said, hey, you guys got to get out of your own way. The city, the county, All Home, United Way, the Gates Foundation, you all got these different ideas about how to do this. You got to get more aligned. And that, you know, I think for the providers who heard that their performance wasn't as good, and the funders, the local government who heard that they maybe weren't as connected as they should be, somewhat kind of hard to hear the recommendations. But that's why we wanted this third party to look at it and say, hey, you know, our view from working in these other communities and in looking at your data tells us that there's some things you could be doing differently.
A lot of homeless programs have not been focusing on homelessness. They've been focusing on other issues and other causes.
That's true, yeah.
Which are important, right? But if you want to get people off the streets, we should start by getting people off the streets. The first phase of the community plan outlines how we need a strong regional leadership body, how we need to prioritize best connecting every individual on the street to the resource best fit for them. We need to make sure that each person has personal choice in the matter, and we really need to be focused on the results of those efforts.
I see.
The second part of the plan is going to identify exactly what resources are missing and how much of that we need. How much more permanent supportive housing, how much more rapid rehousing. And then we'll have the information to go to the community and say, hey, look at the progress we're making. If you can help with this piece, we can truly end homelessness here in San Diego.
So we have a big turning point coming up here in San Diego. When this report comes out, there are going to be a lot of tough decisions for policymakers, for funders, and for community members as well, who will have to decide if they are willing to buy into this plan and then kind of help, you know, put that political pressure on to really make it happen.
We're going to St. Vincent de Paul, Father Joe's village, and we're going to meet Deacon Jim, the guy that runs it. Hi, Deacon Jim. I'm Tony Rodriguez. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
The task force is developing a 5-year plan to end homelessness. It seems in other cities that that's been a hard pill to swallow. A lot of changes have to be made, and are you on board with the plan?
As far as whether I would accept the plan, I look forward to seeing the plan, and I look forward to embracing it. Well, to all the service providers coming together, and not just the service providers, Tony, but even the community, right? The residents and the businesses. Because another obstacle is the NIMBYism. You know, not in my backyard, right? Let's come up with a plan that we as a community as a whole can work towards, so that then we're marching to a logical common end that will really address this issue. What the providers will be tasked with is doing more of the affordable, permanent type of housing and supportive housing, and less so of the transitional housing, as an example, and that's going to be hard, and it's going to be hard for more hard for some providers other than others.
I didn't think that they would be as flexible as Deacon Jim talked about. He's all behind the plan. He knows there's going to be some tough changes he has to make, and he's willing to do it. It was good. I was happy to hear that.
So, what have you been doing today?
Today was a particularly testing, trying day. I had one cart that I had to deal with today. That cart broke down.
About 2.5 weeks ago, you met with the housing navigator.
Yes.
How was that meeting?
It was okay, except for she wants us, before she does anything, she wants us to show some effort. She wants us to, which we should have done it long ago, is take care of financial, legal responsibilities. I have to go to Mercy Hospital to get the medical work to prove that I got injured on the job, the county job, working off my fines for GR, and it's true, but I haven't been there to get it. because it costs money to get up there, and time and effort and things like this that happen today slow me down.
So why does she want you to do that?
She wants me, I'm not sure why she wants me to do it, but she wants me to do that. Another thing she wants me to do, I'm not sure why, but another thing is a psychological evaluation, which after today I'm sure I need, but that's with some group that does a more thorough job on that kind of a thing, and I'm not opposed to that. I do want to do it.
More thorough than what?
More thorough than just like going to your doctor and telling them you have a depression or something. You know, yeah, I did that, and that ended me up nowhere, really. They just want to put me on antidepressants, and I don't want to take antidepressants. It's my life that's making me depressed. There are challenges for me to get housing are one, information, knowing what to do, but I'm learning what to do. Then when I learn what to do, there's like other hurdles, which I know life has hurdles. It's not going to be easy. Things aren't just handed to you, but I never anticipated the amount of hurdles. But in Houston, we interviewed a guy there who had spent most of his life in prison. He just got out of prison, got shot, and he made it there to get a house. And they said, "You want a house? Place to stay? You come here 2 weeks, and you'll have your house." And he said he may not make it back, and that's true. Homeless people, we get lost and things happen, you know. But they said, "Well, we'll go out and find you." And they knew where his tent was. Yeah. Yeah, they don't seem to care really here. Bottom line, I think some people do. A lot of people care, you know, but I guess a lot of people are trying, I guess, too, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say. This is Tony Rodriguez. Hi. Oh, pretty good. I'm sorry you're having such a hard time getting a hold of me. I've had 3 different phones, none of them working consistently. The thing about me, Ginger and I, is I would like to be living with her if that's possible. But if that's going to take a long time and a lot of hassle and it's not going to happen for a while, and it would be easier for us to live separately, maybe in the same building or something, then that would be okay. So she's going to try to get us in the same place we're going to go into as a family, but separately, and we can probably both get in there. But she wants to know, if one goes and one doesn't, what then? And I said, I hope that doesn't happen. That's going to be a difficult decision, and I'll probably stay with Ginger on the street. I've already made that choice once with your friend when you offered me that place, because I just don't want to leave her on the street by herself. It's too dangerous. I have a friend who has a Section 8 voucher and can't find an apartment, can't find a landlord who will accept a voucher. My navigator's having trouble herself finding me a place. So we've heard about this organization in Atlanta that is helping to unite the two, to helping people find apartments and houses. So we're going to go there and we're going to find out exactly what they do. I'm going to bring that information back to San Diego.
I reached out to other friends of mine in my business, which is commercial real estate, and where we ended up was a program called Open Doors.
What we do is we act as an intermediary. We partner with the management companies and we negotiate down those barriers and say, you know, if we work with the absolute best nonprofits, best in class, the ones who are going to place individuals and families and be a part of their lives and make sure that they're stably housed, then you work with us and we provide a second layer of support for those placements, and that way that enables you as a management company to lower those barriers and to possibly even reduce rent to make it more affordable.
What would you say we would need to do first in San Diego to get something like this going?
So first of all, you gotta find a pool of willing landlords and a couple of champions. Those people support the food banks.
Yeah.
They support all sorts of charities that assist people who are in need. But these are the people who know most about housing and actually have something to give besides just writing a check. If you've got an area in the city, as we do on the west side of downtown Atlanta, that is encumbered by street homelessness, you know, you've got situations where investors won't come and invest in those areas. So if you help these people lift their lives up, all of a sudden huge areas of town that were previously redlined to new investment, all of a sudden those become the new artists and the new fun restaurants areas. It's such a win for everybody. So I don't think finding people who are interested in that kind of philanthropic enterprise and having the time to devote, because everybody likes a winner. And you don't make your city win until you solve homelessness.
Yeah, my grandmother used to work at a bowling alley, and she when she raised us, my sister and I, and it was at night, late at night, in the Naval Bowling Alley, all kinds of crazy people. And we would get to stay up and have hot dogs and soda, and then she would say, okay, time to go to sleep, and we have to go sleep in the car until she was done. But here goes, I'm give it a try. Oh. Yes, what can I say? Comes naturally. Oh, it was an excellent trip. I didn't know like what we would really get from it, but we got a lot from it. Making progress.
See you at 3 p.m. tomorrow at storage.
Okay, 3 o'clock at the storage. All right, okay, bye-bye. Maybe she went to jail, I don't know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What time is it?
I don't know. I just got up.
Go ahead.
It's early. It's 5 in the morning. We're at the airport. We made it. We made it. Sacramento. There's a Capitol building. Hi, I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony. I'm John. Pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure. Some people don't like shared housing for whatever reason. What are some of the myths?
Oh, not myths. It's realities. You know, there are folks who run homes where they pack people in. Because of that, I mean, there is this feeling out on the streets that, you know, you get into this kind of situation, you're just going to be, you know, a victim. And so we always tell people, come and see what it is. We believe a well-run shared housing program, a well-run rooming house is a very nice place to live. And if you come and see, you'll say, oh, it is a very nice place to live. Yeah. If it's not a house that we own, I lease the house from the person who owns it, and I become the master tenant, and then I sublease to the folks who move into the house. Because right now housing is so challenging to provide, and this is certainly a less expensive way per person to provide housing with, I think, the socialization benefits of the community that forms there.
We typically house individuals in your regular middle class neighborhoods. We try and find rentals that are close to transportation and shopping, medical services. Come on in and let's take a tour of the house. Hi.
Hi.
One of our typical houses.
Several of us that have been with each other now for, 4 or 5 years. And so we've built, you know, a friendship over time. I'm just thankful that I do have a roof over my head and that I'm not out on the street because I know what that's like.
This house is a 6-bedroom home with
my God,
2 bathrooms.
They all get along really well. I thought you might have somebody that might be a little loud, outspoken, and the other ones, you know, but no, they're pretty much all same, equal temperament. If you had millions of dollars thrown at your program, could you expand your program here?
Oh, absolutely. We actually work with a number of real estate investors that purchase houses, and if we had the money to back us up to actually be able to find houses to purchase and rent, we would be able to expand in no time. We already have the infrastructure in place, and we already have the model to do it.
All right, thank you, sir. 4 this morning, we got up and been going all day in Sacramento. It's about 10 now. I remembered that I had stayed in group housing in San Diego, and it's a very good thing. It's nice. It helps you to come back out of your shell hole that you live in when you're a homeless person. You tend to isolate, and those homes bring you out of that and start to get back into society and dealing with other people. And all right, thanks. Good night. Hey, Ginger.
How was it?
Good. We're at the County Administration Building, and we're going to interview Ron Roberts, the County Supervisor. Hi, Ron. I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Nice to meet you. it seems like the momentum here in San Diego is growing toward solving this issue of homelessness. What do you attribute that to?
I think we've reached a sort of a crisis level that exceeds anything in the past. It's a public awareness, a private awareness, and a political awareness that are all coming together in a sense. It's a good storm.
I have a lot of respect for you for taking the lead on it too. You're on your way out. I mean, you can take it easy. You don't have to do anything, you know. But no, you're right in there.
No, in fact, my friends have said, "Are you nuts?" Because everybody knows this is a very difficult issue.
Yeah.
What I'm hopeful, in whatever time I have left, I can at least position us so that things have started to happen, and that there's a longer range view on where we're going.
County Supervisor Ron Roberts is now in charge as the chair of the Regional Task Force on the Homeless, and Chris Ward, who's a city councilman. So they are leading this group now, and that's significant. A lot of people outside of San Diego tell me that that's significant too, because we have some key political leaders that are, you know, saying they're going to back up this plan.
Yeah.
Mayor Kevin Faulkner is also saying that he's going to support it.
Yeah.
We'll see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
And the task force recently hired Gordon Walker, who had some success in Utah reducing chronic homelessness.
I was reading an article about you today. You've done a lot of great things in Utah.
In my previous employment, we had the opportunity to focus on chronically homeless individuals. The people from Houston came in and visited us.
Did they?
They came in, they brought their whole teams in 2 different times.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that he came to San Diego. I feel rejuvenated with a new energy. The momentum is just upped it a few stages, you know. I got this job painting this house. It's one of the odd jobs that I do to survive here and there. And I'm almost done with it. I'm thinking about all the prep work that went into this, and the owner comes and sees this after 2 days of working, and it's not painted, and thinks we're not going fast enough. But then, really, in 1 day, it's painted, and then it's done. The prep work is really the nuts and bolts of it. You know, it takes a long time, and homelessness and this issue, it's been taking some time, but there's been incredible progress, incredible prep work being done behind the scenes. In the last 9 months since we've been filming this, a lot of things have happened. I wrote some things down. One is we've had political support. People in office, people that can make decisions, have this issue as their #1 goal. It's worked in other cities. It's worked. The best practices have worked, and we just haven't applied them here, and that's what this plan is about. In this regional plan, people got together and looked at every single detail and figured it all out. You can get a copy of the plan, go online, it'll be there. But support it, because it's the only thing that keeps us all on the same page, not fragmented, because together we're strong, and separately it's not going to work. I'd like to thank you all for caring, and I've definitely been inspired, and I'm going to continue on doing whatever I can to help homeless people, including myself, on a road to success. And so I'm going to go to sleep now. Thank you. Bye. Yeah.
Thank you.